Welcome to Focus on B. This is the single-part video series where we take a look at a game that I wouldn't necessarily want to let's play, but it definitely would make for an interesting video. And this is a game you probably haven't heard of. It's called CT Special Forces Free Bioterror. You know what this is? Well, this game is many things. For one, it's as you can tell by the visual style and the way I'm playing it right now, this is pretty much a Metal Slug clone on a system that already had Metal Slug natively. Well, okay, that's one thing. It's also a Game Boy Advance title, as you can probably tell by the music. But as you can also tell by the aspect ratio, it's not. You know what this is? This is a PlayStation 1 game. Released in 2004. A PlayStation 1 game that isn't some, licensed bullshit or, FIFA or whatever. Because, yes, there were FIFA games on the PS1 being released in the 2000s. That's genuinely a thing. And the PS2 ones were, into the 2010s. But whatever. Aside from that, it's like a normal game, but it was also released for the PS1. I'm not... what? How? How did this happen? And it's actually kind of different from the GBA version, as you can tell by the aspect ratio. The sound quality is pretty much the same. In fact, for the most part, it is just a straight port. But you know what this feels like? This kind of feels like a Flash game almost, where it has the qualities of a console title, but with the production value of something lower budget. And it's funny because I'm pretty sure Alien Hominid was released on PS2. One of the most popular, Newground era Flash games, or was it on Xbox? It was on some 6th generation system. It wasn't just XBLA, and that's mighty okay, can you fucking not? Here's what you do. You can throw grenades with the, oh, fuck, that's on me. You can also roll. The sequel, the second game, actually added that mechanic, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, basically you can throw grenades to take out enemies more easily. The enemies aren't exactly intelligent, but you aren't exactly a tank either. You're quite fragile, so you're going to want to collect those health pickups. There you go, full health. And you're going to see that happen, what I just did there. That right there. That's going to happen quite a lot during this video because this game is tough. It really is hard as hell. And this is on the standard difficulty. There is an easier difficulty mode, but I feel like it'd be kind of cheap if I were to... I say that while using save states. Look, there's a difference, alright? I think I've talked about this in a Vivid Noise episode, whatever. When you have a threat like this, you know what you do? You crouch, then you shoot, and you go into this lock-on mode. Well, sort of. You're basically going to have to put yourself in harm's way either way if you want to fucking... I can't say this game has expert enemy placement and level design. In the slightest, you can shank them. That's pretty cool. You can get your... Oh, fuck. You can get your grenades back like this. The spray work is pretty good. It's a little hit and miss, to be honest. Not every single enemy is animated super well. In fact, your main character is animated kind of... I don't know. The quality of the animation is kind of average on him. But... See, that death animation was super smooth. Also, I completely forgot you can switch your weapons to this limited ammo assault rifle. So, it just fires way faster. Okay, what the fuck is the pattern here? What am I... see, this kind of situation makes me wonder, what am I supposed to do? I guess I have to flush them out using my grenades, right? Yeah. That's pretty much what you have to do. But what if you don't have grenades, though, to be fair? Because that's a limited resource. I guess this makes the game interesting. It's the fact that you're not always going to have them, so you're going to have to be careful with when you use them. I guess that makes sense. That is kind of the foundation of interesting game design, which I'm going to talk about more in a different episode. These guys, I don't get why they have the shields, because you can damage the shield. See, they die, so I don't think the developers understood why sometimes in games enemies will have shields. It's so that it makes it different. See, this is just a timing challenge, basically. It's so that you're introduced with a Oh, fuck, I'm dead. Good thing this game uses, it uses that system of, the running gun death system, where you just kind of die and respawn immediately after. Which will kind of make me using save states feel not as cheap, because I'm essentially doing the same thing as what the game is doing anyway, but it's infinite. Also, I'm pretty sure down there, it looks like it'd be a continue or something, back in the continue era, except this is way after the continue era. This is decades after it, but whatever. Again, it's a PS1 game in 2004. There you go. I'm pretty sure that was... Actually, that was an Extra Life, yeah. I mean, not like I need it, But you get the idea. That is neat. See, that rolling animation is quite good, but the jumping animation is a little stiff looking. But I mean, what could you do as far as the jumping animation goes? I mean, let's not pretend that this is like some high budget title or anything near as, you know, popular as because I'm not sure if Metal Slug is necessarily high budget. I mean, its animation budget must be quite big, because goddamn, Metal Slug is famous for having some Can you not switch to the melee automatically? It happens like that. That series is absolutely well known for its ridiculously high quality, smooth pixel art animation. It's beautiful. But honestly, I was never... okay, that is an unfair situation right there. I've never really been too into this kind of run and gun. I've never liked Contra. I have some nostalgia for Contra thanks to... the Irate Gamer, of all things. The Irate Gamer, that guy, yeah. Before I knew what the AVGN was, I watched Irate Gamer. And you know what? There's so much nostalgia associated with that. I just can't give myself... I can't allow myself to dislike it. You know what I mean? I don't really care if it's not as good as AVGN. Of course it's not, because he's just a YouTube legend. But, still... plenty of memories with that. You know, I love those B-grade reviewers, right? But either way, so... I was never really too into this kind of game. Why is it? Well, I think it's because it's not super movement focused. You know, I love me a good super heavy movement focused game. And when I say heavy, I mean it's heavy on the movement. Not that it controls like the character is heavy. Whoa, heavy! Remember that? That's a Metal Slug thing, right? I wonder if this game has an equivalent. It probably doesn't. It wouldn't really make sense for the theme. And not to mention, this game isn't exactly like the best example of what it does. It's not terrible or anything, it's just the novelty of the fact that, okay, it's a Game Boy Advance title in 2004, that makes sense. That was the current system, although the DS was quickly taking over. But it's also a PS1 game. I just can't get over that. I was shocked enough to find out there were 2 others before this. You know, there's 2 other games in this series that came out prior on the PS1, and I guess if I were to recommend you play this, it would be this version, because you do get that better resolution, so screen crunch is nowhere near as much of an issue, because, you know, that's just a universal problem with like 90% of GBA games, screen crunch. I mean, what the fuck were you going to do about it, you know? Put a 4K display on a handheld from 2001? It's like, of course they're not going to do that, but, still, so I guess this is the definitive version of the game. But still, it's just amazing to me that a non-licensed game, because, okay, you expect that with the garbage shovelware license type titles, you know what I mean? Like when you're playing, like, every other sports game and all the fucking random brand games, you know, those kind of things, you expect that to happen. I mean, I think didn't the Wii continue to be supported by some series, like, up until, even after the Switch? I swear, it wasn't like Just Dance, like, still support. I'm not sure, but basically there's a lot of instances of that, which makes sense. If it continues to sell, then why wouldn't you? There's a reason why the PS2 technically survived longer than the PS3 in a way, you know? It continued support until like 2013 or something. Like, goddamn it, they needed the PS4 to kill that thing off, and the PS4 actually is still around even after over a decade. You get what I mean? To be fair, it makes more sense there because, you know, consoles haven't really changed that much. They're just a little more powerful. But, like, PS1 to PS2, right, and PS2 to PS3, that was like, those are those big generational jumps, you know? The kinds that I don't really know if we'll ever see again. Now, this sound like too much of a boomer or anything, but it's true. It's like, when are you going to see another one of those kind of jumps, right? At least when it comes to home console gaming. When it comes to VR, yeah, we're probably going to see some more jumps, because VR is still, it's getting way better, but it's still got a little bit of ways to go, right? No, I'm not just stuck in 2014. It really does still have a little bit left to go. Handheld gaming, I mean, it's... graphically, I guess it's pretty much there. There's handheld games that look like fucking bona fide, like, you know, proper full console games, except that the difference isn't in the graphics now, it's in the game itself, and or a lack thereof there being a game, or because you know how it goes, right? I don't have to tell you that mobile game bad, right? But handheld gaming, not bad, right? There's a difference between mobile and handheld gaming. It kind of sounds like the same thing, but it's really not. There's a big difference, right? You know, handheld gaming, very cool. Mobile gaming, not so much. But anyway, what is this weird line of... Oh, is that supposed to be like a laser scope? I just realized something. Look, when I crouch, there's like a line of pixels. I thought that was a glitch, but now that I think about it... look at that. Do you see it? It's like a line of pixels that kind of looks like a laser scope. maybe that's actually intentional, because it only happens every time I crouch, but it's not there normally. I don't know, maybe, to be fair, it is common for a lot of these kind of games to, well, I guess if it were a 3D game, for it to increase your accuracy when crouching. Also, these levels are fucking long, and you really, oh shit, voice acting, incredibly high quality voice acting. Let's try this again. There you go. It's really not that hard to avoid this thing, right? Yeah, of course it isn't. The roll move, honestly, it's not quite fast enough for me to use it super often. Either way, oh yeah, I forgot. PS1 game, which means loading time. Okay, they're not too long. A save game? No, let's not save. I mean, I don't need to. You know what we're doing over here, right? We don't exactly need to actually save. 10 minutes in. All right, we can just continue. Maybe I'll try and finish the stage, and I'll call it an episode. This is the first level, and I try not to play the first level of most games because it just feels kind of cheap. Although, the next game I'm about to record in this session, which is Donkey Kong 64, yeah, I'm going to do the first level, and that's it. But there's a reason why, okay? With the way that game's structured, I think that'll be perfectly fine, alright? But enough about that. We'll get to it when we get to it, which will be, I guess, as far as you guys are concerned, either next week or the week before this one. I'm not sure how I'm going to be uploading these. If I can even fucking upload them, because my internet's been doing some fucky-wuckies as of late. Oh my god. See, I don't know what you're supposed to do about a situation like this, because you just have so many enemies around you, that it's like, even theoretically with full health, it's like, I guess you just launch grenades everywhere, but they can hurt you too, though, you know? So it's like, okay, you jumped, because they can't hit you directly upwards. They can't aim straight up, so that's good, right? You avoid him, but then you get hit by that thing. So I can't tell if I'm just shit, which I guess I am as well, or if the game is actually cheaply designed. You know, like, I have no idea what to do about this situation right now. How do I defend myself? Look, I'm fucking dead, and now I'm basically going to be surviving on save states, right? See, I'm going to hit that save state button, and now you're going to see me load that state very, very often, because what else do I do, I guess, other than get good? But it's like, what does getting good actually mean in a game like this? Is it avoiding the projectiles that you clearly can't avoid? Do you... Oh, yeah, try to do something like this. There you go. That's not getting good because I missed my fucking grenade. Let's try that again. Basically, now I'm in Kaizo mode. I'm going to have to figure out exactly how to approach this, taking as little damage as possible, using as many of my grenades as I can, or as I need to, I guess. Not using my ammo because I really need to save... I mean, granted, it's the same damage. I don't think it does any more damage when you use this thing. It's just more convenient. Although... we can take this guy out quite easily, as you can see, boom, and there is a little bit of health down there, so we're going to try and pick that up. At this point, I'm not really analyzing. I know I've made my point clear as to why I don't really love these kind of games, despite the great production value. Not this one necessarily, although it's not a bad game or anything. It's, again, just surprising to me that, like, it came out when it did for the system that it did. But the reason why I'm not a huge fan of Run and Gun is just what I said earlier. It doesn't really emphasize the platforming aspect of the 2D platformer that I love so much, right? It's more of a combat game. When it comes to combat like this, I'd rather just be in 3D in first person, just shooting dudes, you know? Like, not to sound like too much of a gen whichever one I'm supposed to belong to. Yes, exploding barrels, that's nice. But this isn't super exciting to me, although it is challenging. I gotta give it that. Because that's the thing. Games were made difficult for two reasons. One, so that you buy them instead of renting them, of course. That was back in the day. But also because, you know, you can't make something that visually interesting with these kind of limitations. It can be interesting, but only to a certain extent. You have to make it challenging, too. Again, I'll talk about that in some other episode, most likely. But that's the idea, that you really need that challenge. You can't get by on just spectacle. Very few games can do that effectively without becoming incredibly stale. Right? So now I'm just sitting here like, okay, what the hell am I supposed to do about something like this, where I have no lives left, and this game just does damage to you like it's giving out fucking candy on the street. That's weird. Why would I say that? Whatever. And yeah, it's just, look at this. Okay. Ninja dude. These ninja guys are not very effective. You're supposed to blend in with the environment, I imagine. You can pan the camera, which is very useful, and you can... Hold on, can I strategically throw my grenade down there to damage him? I think I can't... Did that get him? It actually got him. Nice. Alright, let's see what we can do over here. Collect some more ammo. Now we have tons of ammo for our better weapon, I guess. So, I'm calling it that because, I mean, of course, it's supposed to be the better one because it's limited. That's generally how game logic works, where it's like you limit the thing that's better to use. But at the same time, is it really that much more effective? I guess it is. I don't know. Ooh, health. Oh shit, female snipers. Shoot those. There you go. With their very well animated hair. I gotta give it credit for that. And yeah, see, some of the animations are quite good. It's for some reason the animations on your character that are a little bit wonky and not quite as good as they really could be when everything else animates super smooth. That's so weird. Usually it's the other way around. It's like they'll prioritize, you know, make sure your guy looks as good as possible, and everyone else is kind of like, not so much. But yeah, as you can see, the game isn't impossible. I mean, biased because I'm using save states, of course, but ow, you fuck, whatever. I haven't actually loaded the state in quite some time now. I'm gonna save one right now because, of course, you actually get way faster results if you just mash. Yep, you guys can't shoot straight down or straight up, but I can. Actually, no, they can shoot straight down, I think, but I can shoot straight up. But yeah, I really have always liked this kind of shading on sprite work, though. It's very dusty looking, you know, like it's like almost like they're made of sand. Like everything looks like it's made of sand, and that's a really cool aesthetic. It's like the Race Driver Grid aesthetic, but in pixel art form. Except this was before Race Driver Grid, but you get the idea, right? I guess it's just the Metal Slug aesthetic. It kind of coined that, to be honest. No, not a lot of games from its time, or even still to this day, look quite like how Metal Slug do, except for this, funnily enough. Except it's a little too colorful, I guess, to be Metal Slug, and not to say Metal Slug isn't. Oh, for fuck's sake! And that's game over, right? Well, screw you. I have the E key on my keyboard, which typically is one of the function keys, but you know, you can reconfigure it. I've never been a fan of having function keys for stuff because I'm worried that it might fuck with OBS or something. Generally, it's not a big deal, but still. Yeah, so what do we even do at this point? I guess we're just gonna try and clear this level if I can get a sentence out correctly, because it's very difficult to move the muscles in your mouth to produce the sounds necessary to form human language in the language of the English. But either way, I don't fucking know, man. At this point, I mean, this game is actually really cool. It kind of is cool, to be honest. I mean, I can't really say that I'm having a bad time. It's very challenging, but that's kind of what you'd expect from the territory. Like, you're kind of asking for a hard game when jumping into something like this. That's just a given. You know, that's like complaining that Contra is too hard. It's like, yeah, no shit, it's Contra. You know? Or I guess Dark Souls, honestly, I'm surprised Dark Souls was able to become as popular as it was, because when you look at a game like Dark Souls, you don't think it'd be that hard. You think it'd be one of those like, mass market, really pretty looking, cool fantasy stuff, when in reality it'll kick your fucking nuts in. Apparently, like, I've never played Dark Souls. I've never played any of the Dark Souls games, or Elden Ring, any of the Souls-likes, Bloodborne, whatever it might be. Never played any of them. Seriously, I'm just not interested. Ow, my face. Okay, let's reload that state, because I really do want to give myself the best possible fighting chance to survive this, you know, so I have to minimize damage by just memorizing the patterns, because this is kind of, you know, it's a little bit Mega Man in a way, except without the really, you know, pretty music and the creative levels, and okay, whatever. Not to say that this isn't, like, completely unoriginal. I mean, it's the third game in the series, to be fair, but this is a train level, and I like train levels a lot, you know. Let's see what, okay, is this actually an extra life? Yes, it is. Cool. Why did it say energy when I picked it up? I think that's what it just said. Why would you call it that? That's what it says when you pick up the health thing. Anyway, that's not really important. What matters is that we're just making our way through the stage. We got tons of ammo. We actually have full health and an extra guy. Although, yeah, so the game switches to melee when you get... Nope, fuck off. Nope. Nope. We're not allowing any damage. This is genuinely how I play games, by the way. Like, here's something I realized. If I want my Let's Play series to have any amount of identity, I have to stop trying to be like everyone else's Let's Plays where they have their rules. I'm gonna play these games like how I play them when I'm not recording, which means lots of this shit. Lots of that shit right there happening, because that's just how I play these kind of games. If I have the option, why would I not use it? Holy shit, it's like the 50th time I've tried to justify that. No, it's just a matter of... I have to stop feeling like, oh, it's for a Let's Play. Who gives a shit if it's for a Let's Play? You know? It just helps the flow of the video, and it's just the way that I play. Oh, that's from Sonic Free and Knuckles, isn't it? It's Sonic and Knuckles specifically. That's from Flying Battery. And this game, holy shit, it's so weird. This game looks like it was released around the same time, but it was released 10 years later, and isn't some, like, indie project. Well, I guess, no, these guys aren't independent. This game was, like, fully published and everything. I've actually never made it to this part of the level before, so this is all new to me. Yeah, seriously, I've never been in this stage before. I just kind of tested the game out just to see what it's like. I was like, okay, cool, I can do a video on this. Those are very well animated cannons, except they don't really fit with the rest of the, like, art direction on the train itself. Again, this is clearly not the highest quality thing in the world, but at the same time, it's just amazing for what it is. It's just like this. Imagine it's 2004, and the PlayStation 2 has already been out for a couple years, and you go to the store, you go to an actual physical store, and you purchase this, and it's just, what? To be fair, it's not that unexpected. There's plenty. I mean, nowadays that's common. That's so many games look like this on the major systems, right? That's just what we do. It's indie games and such. But this isn't that. It's like this was a fully published and released game, and that's just kind of crazy to me. It's like, what? But aside from that, though, it's a totally serviceable run-and-gun side-scrolling shooter, right? Very challenging, as you would expect, as you can see from this video, me getting my ass kicked, right? Having to fucking abuse save states as to not... Yeah, okay, I died again. As you can see now, I'm just going to load another... save another state, actually, because I have one more guy left. Okay, what's the consensus on, is it extra guys or extra lives or extra men? Because some people say free men, some people say free guys, some people say extra lives, one-ups. Oh man, that's a fun little bit of... Is it over? My character's doing a pose, so that must mean that I'm done? I guess, yeah, that must be the end of the chapter, unless, bravo, our agents can now search... Oh my god, it's text scrolling, shut the fuck up, just, there you go. Yeah, thanks to your fast work, the ALK may not have had time to destroy all of their material. Okay, so we're on to the next mission, which, no, we're not doing that, this is the end of the episode. It's been 20-something minutes now, that's focus on B. The single-part video series where I take a look at a game, which I definitely don't think would make for a... Ooh, that's actually a very interesting level. Oh, I like this aesthetic. Damn it, now I want to keep playing this. No, I have to be professional. This has been Focus on B, the single-part video series where I take a look at a game which I wouldn't necessarily want to do a Let's Play, although now I kind of want to do a Let's Play of this. Maybe in the future, maybe the first two, I don't know. But either way, I definitely do want to do an individual video on this for sure. And this has been CT, I've got to read the fucking game name, CT Special Forces Free Bioterror, in brackets Europe, because that's how it's written in the file names. I'll see you guys in the next time, yeah, I'll see you guys next time on Focus on B.